Hey, hi guys, me again, Nishan, and welcome to the episode of Workout from Home, episode number 5. And today, the topic is quite straightforward. So today, no exercise, but hey, I'm going to share with you some knowledge. So you just tune in, welcome, and feel free to like, share, or even subscribe, or whatever social media allows you to do, alright? So today, I'm going to share with you something based on a very famous quote from lately one of the cinemas admin. So it's known as the "Hello, cannot." Alright. So today, everything else is like "Hello, cannot." Alright. So the goal we do this is to share with you some of these facts, or some of these fallacies, or some of these myths that you hear about, and hopefully we can use this to break it down once and for all for good, so that you know that you don't get, number one, don't get cheated by other people, or number two, do not waste your time and do not waste your energy getting unrealistic results. Right. So that's the same goes. If it's too good to be true, chances are it is too good to be true, right? So, kind of the common myths, unfortunately, they're still circulating around, whether it's regarding to fitness or your diet, or your workout, or even recovery, is that people always try to find that special secret magic trick, like there's a quick fix, there's a shortcut, or there's some like something very special, or especially this is very famous among supplements, right? For example, take this product because this thing is something is very revolutionary, or something big pharma don't want you to know, or this government is trying to hide something from you. Pretty sure government hide things, but I'm pretty sure this is the last thing they want to hide. They got a lot of things that is way more worth to their time to hide. But anyway, not here to talk about governments. Today I'm going to talk to you about now how to solve these things that is just for once and for all just tell your brain hello, cannot, because it really cannot work well. If you can work, you're probably the first among the world, or you are just hyper lucky, right? Now, to start it off, the first common myth that I always hear people say is like, this is they said you train X body part and you can just lose fat on X body part. So I'll give you an example, a very popular myth which you always hear, like, if I want to lose belly fat, I need to train my abdominal exercise. Every day is ab day, do crunches only, do planks, do some whatever core exercises that you can think of, okay, bird dogs, dead bars, weighted machine curls, or all those things, So if you are trying this, chances are, if you're listening to this video, chances are you don't get a lot of result from this. You got to be very honest with yourself. And even if you do, I can show you doing the ab exercise alone will not help. Alright? So this kind of phenomena of doing exercise, doing specific target muscle group exercise to hit specific target body fat, this phenomena is known as spot reduction. Right? So spot reduction means, like I shared just now, example, you're going to train the ab, thinking that training the abs will eventually lose the belly fat and you can get six pack. Or another common one people will know is do some exercise so that you can reduce thigh fat. You have to understand human body doesn't work like that. Alright? Now I'm not a scientist or anything, but you don't need a scientist. You just need you don't need the IQ of very high 160 or anything. All you need is just very basic core common sense, is that you need to understand the spot reduction do not exist, right? And it will not work. If it really work, I would like to see like someone. Can you imagine someone just train the ab? Like imagine someone who is very fat and obese, right? Imagine he lose a lot of weight. He just do crunches only. Can you imagine? Have you ever seen someone is like just very fat and then boom, there's a solid six pack because he trained his abs? I've yet to see one, So if you have seen someone that only train the ab, he's fat, everything, he's flabby and everything, but his ab here is super solid six pack, like a durian six pack like that. If you have, man, please show me, alright? I would really like to see. So for once and for all, just tell your mind that spot reduction does not exist. So hello, cannot, right? So this is the very first spot reduction. Like, come to think about it, you have to be very realistic. You cannot just hit one body part. You understand, fat is not distributed on one body part. It's distributed all around the body. Just maybe it's more visible on your belly. It's not the most pleasant feeling in the world, but that doesn't mean you can only train the abs and with hopes of trying to lose belly fat. Unfortunately, that will not serve you the way. What these people should think instead is to train the whole body because fat is distributed all around the body. So we have to burn, guess where? All around the body so you can burn the fat. So these are some ideas that you might want to think, right? And last but not least, also when we talk about like we have to lose fat loss or we have to train an X body part. Let's say a gym bro, right? He's very skinny. He just want to train. He wants to have nice chest. So he just every day he just do some chest fly or just do push up. That's about it. Now those are not wrong, but the payload is very small. You want to do a better payload. So what the fellow should do is should also train a bit the back, on the chest, on the shoulder. At least train all the upper body parts also, right? So your goal is to lose weight also or to lose fat. Please don't buy the idea is that trying to just train X body part. That's why sport reduction again is a myth. It should be beaten to death long ago. Unfortunately, every year or once in a while, we always see something circulating like do this exercise to lose belly fat, do that exercise to lose thigh fat. This kind of thing is seriously nothing but a myth. So you don't want to fall into this fantasy. And if you ever want to try it, I wish you good luck. You get results, good for you. But I can show you this is short-term results, even if you can do it. Right? At the end of the day, it's all talk about consistency. Alright. So now I talk about the first fallacy, which people think of sport reduction. Second fallacy on the go is buying into what I call external factors that can help you to reach to your body goals. So for example, it's quite famous one. This one, like you wear a belt, the belt will help you to can really help you to zap some electricity, so it helps you to burn the fat. Or you have heard of waist trainer. Waist trainer, if I'm not mistaken, if memory serves me right, I don't know what their technology is. What they do is they have this like a plastic wrap, kind of look like a sandwich wrapper or cling film in the kitchen like that. So they will wrap around here, thinking that it helps you to do sport reduction. What is called external factors. So external factors usually don't really work. Or even diet pills, fat loss pill, what else? Detox tea, special quote unquote fat burning supplement and all those things. I can show you all those things. It's usually a waste of your time, right? And I can show you to be on a fat loss. I'll use fat loss for example, so it's easy for you. To be on fat loss, you need to be on caloric deficit. Now, I've been saying this a lot of time. It's not the answer that everybody wants to hear, but truth is, it's always it's always had to be a calorie deficit. If you're not on calorie deficit, by default you are not losing, you cannot lose weight, right? So you have a caloric deficit, right? So back to the topic just now. When you think of external things, right? I can show you it's not the external thing that help you to burn calories. It's you. I'm pretty sure people who are on all these special product or external resources, what I call, they also at some point you also try to reduce your calorie, i.e. maybe work out a bit more. All these previously they don't work out and now they work out, and or previously they're eating like crap, now they eat a bit better, a bit more wholesome, lean protein, fruits and vegetables and stuff. So they, in the long run, right, they lose some body weight, right? So this works perfectly fine. In other words, what I'm trying to say here is those waist trainer or those slimming pill and all those things just happen to, in Malaysia we call it tumpang. It just happened to tumpang onto the result. At the end of the day, it's all calorie deficit. You have to keep going down and down and down. It is actually the what is that called? The supplements. You just tumpang and try to go down. So the answer is calorie deficit. If those supplements are just external, it's just a bucking money. So it won't serve you any good one. Right? So if someone can tell you, hey, eat this pill, lose X amount of kilo in, God knows 3 days, 1 week, 1 month, you name it, right? I can show you. You ever hear friends who are like this trying to sell you a product? Hey, run away, man, right? A couple of weeks ago, I don't know mention names, said that people actually approached me trying to sell some health supplements, quote unquote, because apparently I'm in the health industry. Obviously, I probably declined. It's just not my thing, and I prefer. I'm more a fan of, and also I don't find it good to trick people, to lie people about products. Also, this is just against my personal values. Alright, so you want to make sure you do it in the long and proper way. But all these fallacies, you really get away. Number one, sport reduction does not exist. Number two, don't rely on external factors. Alright. Okay, if it's too good to be true, like how I said earlier in the video, if it's too good to be true, chances are it is too good to be true. So you really want to back it off, right? So if someone comes and say, hey, just like we put health aside, let's put to a little bit of money, just as an analogy. If someone comes to you like, hey, learn how to work from home and earn 10,000 a month, earn 10,000 a week, just by following these 2 simple steps or 1 easy step. Chances are these are very clickbaitish, preying on the desperate. I'm sure if someone tells you like this to earn money in a very fast, get rich quick scheme, you probably like, you'll be alert. You're like, this is not my thing. Too good to be true. It's not my thing. Same. So why would one want to fall for all these fat slimming pill or slimming product and all those things? Those are actually just wasting your time. You're better worth your time to go and spend it on making proper food, be on a caloric deficit, and try to work out. I think this is a bit more. It has been proven time to time. It still stand to the day of time. There's a reason why people go and exercise. Doctors will tell you to go and work out and try to be your better self and try to improve. These are no accident. It has been shown at least hundreds of years already, right? Humans exercise, work out, and try to be better and better. And that's how you get to your body goal, right? Nobody just has detox tea and quote unquote you lose a lot of weight like that, right? So that is not how all these things work. So don't fall for traps. The number 1, give you very extremely fast result using external product. 2 is what we call the spot reduction does not exist. So you see a chart, someone say, oh, do this Thai exercise or all those whatever. Don't waste your time. You have to train all around the body. And ideally, you can't just do body weight only. At the end of the day, there will be time where you need to add some weight, you need to add some reps, just to create more a higher volume also. It's not you're doing a lot of jump reps. More on that next time. For now, I don't want to talk about this first, it will confuse you. So now I talk the first thing that hello cannot is, remember, if someone tell you that you can hit this exercise to reduce that body part fat, it's a hello cannot sign number 1, it's a red flag. Number 2 is, the next one is we talk about external things that can help you to lose belly fat. Alright, this one is a no-no, also another hello cannot. Now what about the third one? Third one is what I call hello cannot is, can I lose X amount of weight at X time? This one, if I can get a ringgit every single time people ask, whether it's me or any other one, I think no countries our country will not be running the debt already, right? Everyone will be rich, everyone will be famous. Because this frequent question asked is just so frequent that people just want to hear what they want. I don't mind sharing this video, I don't get any likes or any view, I actually don't care. I just want to share the message out, is that just to share with you, don't fall into all this kind of trap. This kind of trap is just give you a short-term fun, and then it just gives you back in spiral, you get fatter than what you were before. This thing you have to avoid. So the third problem is, be unrealistic with your goals, right? Now, if someone come to me, this for example, right? Let's say if you are aiming to lose 10 kilos. Anything, if you ask me to set more than 10 kilos, it's just too much for you to handle. You want to lose 10 kilos, especially in 1 month. Number 1, good luck. Number 2, even if you can lose the weight, I can assure you it's not sustainable. You're going to risk what we call a fat regain, meaning you gain a lot of weight, you lose a lot of weight, and suddenly you gain back all the weight that you have lost. So I repeat again, I don't want to confuse you. Yeah? This is called weight regain. You want to prevent this. Weight regain is you eat a lot of food. You want to be on you want to lose weight. You set very unrealistic goal. 1 month I want to lose 10 kilos, for example. Yeah. Let's pick a number. Say you are 60 kilos, regardless male or female. You want to lose 10 kilos in a month. You do like that. So it's very unrealistic because once you lose the fat, yes, you may be able to reach 10 kilos in a month, but understand there's consequences. If the method, chances are, is very drastic for you. If it's too drastic for you, it's too hard for you to follow. And when you fail to follow, you will fall off the wagon. When you fall off the wagon, you will gain back all the weight that you have lost. That is if you're lucky. For most people who try a fat diet, FAD, what we call a strict diet, or whatever diet you hear from the internet, when you are setting very unrealistic goal with yourself, you will notice that all the weight, your before and after, right? Your after is worse than the before. I repeat, your before, after, your after. Your after might be worse than before. I'm sure we all have seen someone this case before. I have fallen into the trap before. I have seen people fall into the trap before. So in other words, we don't want to find something that's so drastic. And you also want to set to be very realistic. So instead of losing 10 kilos, why don't you try, say, a kilo a week and start small from there? You might be thinking, only 1 kilo 1 week, so little, Michelle. You might be right, it's not a lot. But if every week you can lose 1 kilo, of course theoretically they will fluctuate, but just pretend we're all robots, we're all human, I mean we're all robots, we're all being programmed the same way. 1 month if you lose 4 kilos, 3 months you're losing 12 kilo already, more than the what is that called, the 10 kilo that you initially planned. Though it takes you 3 months longer, but I can show you sustainability is better for you. You chances to adhere, or AKA you'll be able to follow your diet in a more respectable manner. So my point here is, don't set unrealistic goal to yourself. But first you need to understand what is unrealistic to yourself. If you only tell yourself, now the problem is most people focus on the end goal. Though it's nothing wrong, but for every finger you point, you might want to point back 3 fingers and ask yourself. So I'll give you the 10 kilo example here. The 10 kilo is the end product. Instead of thinking about the end product, I would highly recommend you to think about not your end product, but your process. For every finger you point, so I'll show you here, for every finger you point, for every finger you point, for every finger you point or whatever, for every finger you point, there is another 3 fingers pointing you back. So you have to ask yourself the real question. Instead of thinking about 10 kilo, why don't you ask yourself what you can do? Don't ask what result you can get. Ask what you can do to get to your results. So for example, let us use the example of trying to lose 10 kilos here. So instead of telling, I'll lose 10 kilo in 1 month, which we just now discussed is not very realistic for most people. Unless you are 100 kilo and above, then that makes a little bit of sense. So when you want to try to lose 10 kilo, why don't you tell yourself, instead of saying I want to hit X number, why don't you try per week basis? Start small first, right? For example, 1 week I want to try to lose 1 kilo. Maybe you can start from there. And when you lose 1 kilo, instead of asking, there is also still an end product. Focus on your process. Ask yourself what you can do. Start with simple things. Can you sleep more? Can you find a way to reduce your calories? Can you find a way to work out? Ask questions to yourself like this before you just set a goal. I'll give you another one analogy. Probably this will help you to understand. Imagine you're trying to save money, right? You need to save 50,000 at the end of the year. If you tell yourself an end goal like this, chances are it's very hard for you, right? Let's say you're a typical middle working class person just like me and you. So imagine you're trying to save 50,000 50,000 ringgit. It's very hard for you. But you tell yourself, hey, you know, in 1 month I try to save a few thousand, maybe here and there I might add up to 50. Let's say if I can somewhat magically save 2,000 to 3,000 a month, then it's more doable for you. So that is what you're striving for. Do those simple things. Now, how do you want to save money? Maybe, just example, spend less on entertainment, go out less, make your own food, use other people's money. These are just some examples. So same to your fitness goal. Instead of telling I want to lose X amount of kilo, ask yourself what. Don't ask what you can get. Before you ask that question, you have to ask yourself what you can do to get what you want. This is very, very important. This is actually what makes or break someone who will get the results or not, right? Like so many people who are number of clients who are like, I want to lose 10 kilo, I want to lose 10 kilo. I tell them to sit down, just think of what you can do. Now, if you don't enjoy, this one I quote it from someone, from Alan Troll, right? So he said something very good. I know he quotes someone else, but I forgot it. 2 quotes I want to give. First quote is that you need to understand, if you do not enjoy the process, you will not have success. Period. Alright? So I repeat again, if you do not enjoy the process, you will not enjoy success. Now, I'm not going to say it's a stroll in the park to lose fat. That is not my point. The point is, find something that is sustainable for you. Don't find something just because the internet says so. Now, I'm not bashing and saying, I'm going to name a few diets here, example. You might hear before. Ketogenic diet, Atkins diet, paleo, vegan, vegetarian. These are just samples, yeah. So all this diet works. It all brings a common goal. If your goal is fat loss, it allows you to be in a caloric deficit. Now, if you want to do keto because you enjoy it, then good for you. You found your diet already. Keep it that way. But if you find doing keto is just not your thing, I would recommend you to dish it off and be very realistic with yourself. Find what you can do. The goal is to be caloric deficit, meaning as long as you have a high protein diet and you control your calories, I repeat, a high protein diet with a controlled calories, it seems like there is no one diet more superior than another. So, for example, if you can do, one fellow can do keto, another person can do vegetarian. If both of them are on the caloric deficit, both of them, and also high protein plays a large part. The high protein diet both of them can lose very similar amounts of weight. So you might want to have a take-home thought is, be very realistic with yourself, set some realistic goal, find something you can stick to, right? Don't buy into the idea someone tell you, hey, carbs are bad for you. What do they know? Are they nutritionists? Are they themselves experienced, are they related to the, are they related to the nutrition field? You know, anyone can tell you what not to do, but ultimately you want to find what you can do, right? Can you imagine you go to a clinic, you say, doctor, I'm coughing. The doctor just tell you, oh, just don't cough, and here's 200 ringgit for your medical bill. See, that is not serving the purpose, right? So who are they to tell you don't eat carbs, skip, eat X food, don't eat X food, eat Y food instead? No, that's not the goal. The goal is find something sustainable. So maybe in future I'll talk about how to create your own diet. But for now, my suggestion is find something that you can stick to. Stick to the very plain basic rules. Most successful diet or quote-unquote healthy diet has the following. A high protein diet, followed by some sort of fruits and vegetables, and followed by a simple form of carbohydrate. Sorry, a plain form of carbohydrate, not simple, yeah? So plain as in, an idea is that, for example, this fellow have plain rice, steamed rice, instead of having fried rice. Just something like that. For example, this person have wholemeal bread instead of having white bread. Just examples, yeah. So keep the carb as plain as possible, right? For example, this person has oatmeal instead. This person didn't have oatmeal add with toasted nut, toasted whatever lah, you name it, all the herbs and seeds or whatever. Remember, the goal, if your goal is fat loss, you need to be a caloric deficit. Adding more things is adding calories, it's not reducing calories. You have to find a way to reduce calories. Not eating less is by eating proper. The quality of the food will dictate, right? So even for beverage, sometimes people always talk about food, most people miss out on beverage, right? So when you talk about beverage, you ask yourself, what kind of drink do you usually drink? Do you order things that are black, plain, like black tea, black coffee, or answer this plain water, or do you every time you order some sweetened beverage or some beverage that have a lot of color? You have to ask yourself honest questions for this. That's why you have to set a realistic goal. If you every time find yourself weekends chunking into again, it's not bad food or what, just examples, yeah? Chunking a lot of boba, drink a lot of beer, you expect to lose result. So you have to ask yourself, are you seriously expecting yourself to get results by drinking boba or drinking beer? If that is true, I really wish that's the answer, because number one, everyone will be fit. Number two, obviously reload. Number three, we get to your result, I'll get to my results. The world is, there will be world peace, alright, put it that way. So you have to understand give and take. Keep your calories low, but not by reducing the food. Just try by having some special food choices. Some better food choices, not special, better food choices. If you go to a dairy, let's say if you want to have milk, if fat loss is your goal, are you going to drink a full cream milk, or are you going to drink a low fat milk? So that's up to your personal preference. But I'm hinting you here, telling you, whichever there's a lesser calorie, go for that. That you save your life. Give you another example. If you have to choose between having, I just use a mama example. If you have to choose between having a roti canai or roti kosong versus having a chapati or thosai, which one will you go for? If your answer is chapati and thosai, you are on the right track. Why? Because the calorie is lesser. Last time I checked, roti kosong or whatever that's similar to those kind has a lot of oil, a lot of ghee, a lot of butter, and it's quite high in fat, so high in calories. Whereas that one is a bit more plain, keep it simple, plain carbs. That is what my point is. The goal is at the end of the day, try to reduce your calories as much as you can with a proper sustainable way. Don't attempt to do intermittent fasting just because the internet says so, or just because Karen lost 5 kilos from that. She might lose 5 kilos because it's sustainable for her. If fasting is just not your thing, I would recommend you to don't try to fit into your mold. Find to select to change your food choices. So I know I'm going way off topic here, but my point is to share with you is you have to set a very realistic goal with yourself. Another example, just on your, now we talk about diet just now, let's talk about fitness goal. So, for example, I want to look from M size to L size, for example. Sorry, I want to look XL, I want to go to M, for example. If you set that goal, you can do 3 months, I want to go XL to M. If you're that kind of people, I highly encourage you to rethink your mind. This kind of idea, I can assure you, you're not the first person in the whole 7 billion population who thinks like that. There are people, countless of people, myself included, tried that route to get the fastest results possible and the most drastic manner possible. Most of us try that way, and most of the time it backfires. So you might really want to rethink your plan. So in order to think of going from XL all the way to M in 3 months, why don't you try this following? Right now you are XXL, for example. Aim to go XL first. Start small. Once you go to XL for a consistent time, then plan how do I want to go to L, M, whatever the size that you aim for. Make your goal smaller and smaller and smaller. A lot of quote-unquote motivator, health talk or whatever, they all share something very similar. Is to keep your goal short and simple. Also there's KS, keep it realistic. It has to be realistic. You've heard those SMART goal, whatever. I'm not a fan of that, but just give you an idea. Alright, and to be a SMART goal, in case you don't know, is an acronym for say S for specific, M for measurable, A for I can't remember, R for reliable, and T is time bound, something like that. So SMART as in the end. But I'm not here to tell you how to create your goal. My suggestion is tell you to just rescale back your goal. It's better to, if we all want to be overachievers, but it's better to have a realistic expectation and just meet a little bit than to have a high expectation you don't even hit. Besides, if you really cannot hit, you're going to be sorry for yourself. You will think that this is over, this is not my thing, this is not for me, and then you will forever be doomed, and no one's going to help you, God will help you, no diet is going to help you. That shouldn't be the way, alright? Can you imagine someone have a bad experience in their relationship and they're like, alright, I'm never going to be in a relationship anymore. There are people who are like that, but I can show you there are still a lot of people who are quite happy being in a relationship. So take this for example, alright? So your goal, you want to, so if you, instead of asking, then remember the rule that I told you just now, every one finger you point, 3 is going to point back to you. So you have to ask yourself what you can do to do that goal. So if you want to go from double XL to L, now I hope I buy you some idea already. So instead of going to M, try to go double XL, go to XL first. Ask yourself questions like this: what you can do to reach that. So it's where you can go. Now we talked about diet just now, right? So you're gonna set a mistake, reduce some caloric deficit in the long run. What you can also try is ask yourself, how committed can you be to go to the gym or work out? If you can only do 1 or twice a week, it's okay. Start there. You don't need to 6 days in a week, no days off, cut down carbs, don't eat this, don't eat that. You are putting in the form, in other words, just hello, cannot, just put it that way, right? So you find yourself it's too hard, find a way to make it easier. If it's really, really too hard, just dish it. Simple as that. So don't complicate things. So when you want to try to go to lose your weight, you want to ask yourself one simple question is what you can do. So example, the training just now we talked about how many times can you train, all those. Start small. Right? Now I showed you so many videos already, like how to work out from home. If you think all the exercises are just too tough, hey, find one that you can do. I'm very sure I showed you so many combinations already. I'm sure there's at least one workout you can do. If you only like to do arms, guess what? Yes, we cannot squat without, but hey, if it gets you moving, I will start from there. And then slowly you have to tell yourself it's time to expand, do a bit more. Maybe train some legs, train some back, train some shoulders. Slowly work from there. That is what we want in the long run, if you really to see your fitness goal. So remember, just keep it short and simple. Alright? Now, before I go to the end, I just recap what we do. So the 3 things that really puts your mind just hello, cannot. Alright? Number 1, spot reduction. If you see a chart where it says you do this exercise to lose thigh fat, example, do some kickbacks, or example, my favorite one, I actually saw this in the internet. Apparently, if you do like this, or you do something like this, you will lose your arm fat. I don't want to say anything, or I'll have a stroke if I just continue to say it. But just understand, spot reduction doesn't work like that. You have to, fat is distributed all around, so best way is to attack all around as well, meaning train your whole body. Number two, the hello cannot thing, the signal red flag, the hello cannot is relying on external factor, whether it's your famous fitness motivator teacher, or is your pew, or is your waist trimmer, or anything you want to call it, those you really want to put it aside. This is just not going to work for you. And if you work, I can assure that thing is just tumpang only. It won't bring in the long run, right? It's nothing but a placebo effect, really, right? And last but not least, we talk about don't set unrealistic goals. Unrealistic goal not only depresses you and also don't give you any benefit, or to make things worse, it will just drive you in the same cycle over and over again, thinking you're helpless. It doesn't have to be that way, right? So that's all for me today. I thank you for your time. You watched until this video. Thank you so much for your support. So I'll catch you on next episode, episode 6. It's a Thursday. I'm going to share with you how to work out from home, maybe workout program week 3. And here's how we do from week to week. Is you can take exercise week 1, week 2 and week 3. You can make it your own day 1, day 2, day 3, whichever that you prefer. Whether you like HIIT, guess what? Do it the HIIT style. If you like circuit training, do it circuit training. If you like to do straight sets like what I do, you may also do it as well. Right? So until then, I hope this video finds you well, and catch you next time. Right? So thank you. Bye bye.